Hello, my name is Frances Lambeth, Frances the Physio, and I work with a company called Fairhand Visiting Physiotherapists. On this video, we would like to take this opportunity to have a chat and to demonstrate some very useful breathing exercises to help with shortness of breath. You may be experiencing shortness of breath because you're recovering from a chest infection. You might have had pneumonia, you might have a long-term health condition called COPD, or you may have had the coronavirus and are finding at the moment that you're very short of breath. So we're going to keep these exercises nice and gentle, and with a bit of practice and a bit of patience, they can help towards regaining your sense of self, self-control, and being able just generally to manage any shortness of breath that you might be experiencing. Before we go any further, to explain the exercises that we're going to be looking at, there will be three. We're going to be doing pursed lip breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, and something that we call the breathing control technique. So I shall take you through all three of those. I'll be able to demonstrate, and I'm going to invite you to practice with me. But before we go any further, it's a good idea to have a think about actually what's going on in here. We have the chest cavity, really divided into two by the diaphragm. Above the diaphragm you have your pair of lungs. And most people are surprised to learn that actually they occupy a large area in this part of the chest. They actually come right up to here. So when you take a deep breath, your lungs are beginning to expand up to here. The diaphragm is the important structure that we're going to be talking about on this video quite a bit. It's actually a muscle, and you might be quite surprised to learn that, but it is. The diaphragm is a muscle. It's a dome-shaped muscle. When you take a deep breath in, it will flatten, and that draws air in to the bases of our lungs, which are extremely well supplied with blood. So that's why it's important to be able to get the air drawn in, really well oxygenated, and likewise help when you exhale. So we imagine the muscle, the diaphragm, it's a dome shape, and when you take a deep breath in, it will flatten. So it just very slightly displaces the abdominal contents. And we're going to demonstrate that shortly. Around the chest wall you have your ribs that also help, and they also move when you breathe, and you have 12 on each side. And not to forget, a very handy structure that we all need our lungs, also we need our heart. So within this part of the chest cavity, if you imagine you've got your heart, which is about here. So we're going to move on and start thinking about our breathing exercises. Before we start that, it's important to have a think about how and where you're going to do these. I've chosen to be sitting comfortably here in an armchair. I think this is a good place in which to do breathing exercises. My feet are flat on the floor, I can rest my arms, and I can breathe nice and comfortably just as I'm sitting here. I can have my hands on my lap, and I can do the rest of the breathing exercises. A lot of people, when they're very short of breath, will take lots of short breaths, and they're kind of puffing themselves up from here and using all these muscles around here. The idea we have today is to be sitting really comfortably, not using this part of the body at all, but really focusing on our diaphragm. It may surprise you to know that taking a deep breath, taking a breath in, is an automatic, it's a reflex. One breath will follow after the other. So as you breathe in, it's a reflex. But breathing out, exhalation, is actually an active process, and that's what we're going to be looking at. I've mentioned that we're doing three exercises. Some of you will find all of them really helpful. Some of you will find maybe just one of them will be helpful. But give them all a try, and you may find some help you on some days, others are better for different occasions. But what I must say is, do be careful in terms of when we're sitting here or when you're thinking about doing them, not to take too many deep breaths. So we talk about doing a cycle of 3 or 4 and then breathing normally. If you take too many deep breaths too closely together, you'll find you can feel quite lightheaded. In fact, you can even faint, and I definitely don't want anybody to have that experience. So we're going to make a start. I'm going to get myself sitting nice and comfortably, nice and relaxed. You will find I'm not going to stay in this position all the time, but this is a good starting position. So our first exercise, pursed lipped breathing. Just to explain what that means, it means we're going to breathe in, but when we breathe out, we're going to purse our lips. So it's like pouting, or imagining you're whistling, or blowing out a candle. But that's what we want on the breathing out phase. And the reason for that is it actually helps the lungs work more efficiently. It just increases the way they work for you more efficiently. So the pursed lipped idea can be very effective. This is a good technique to use if you're particularly short of breath, or you become suddenly very short of breath. For example, you've just been up and down the stairs and you get to the top of the stairs and you feel really short of breath, or you've been doing been very busy around the house and you sit down and you think, oh my goodness, I feel really quite short of breath. And if you have an underlying lung condition, obviously that can make you feel more anxious, more uncomfortable. So the idea with this is to help you restore your own sense of self and quietness and calm. So to follow with me, I'm going to demonstrate, and I just want you to watch me first, and then we'll do it together. So I'm going to take a breath in through my nose, and then I'm going to breathe out through my mouth. So I'm going to purse my lips. I'm going to breathe in and out. And you can start thinking about joining in. It's a nice, slow, relaxed action. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm going to keep going, just quietly. Hands on the arms of the chair. I might even want to shut my eyes, let the world flow around me, and I'm just going to allow myself to settle back down again and just feel me again, and being in control. So we're going to carry on. We're going to breathe in and out, and in and out, and I'm beginning to feel a lot better. So I'm going to do just one or two more, breathing in and out, and breathe in and out. Lovely. I hope you felt able to join in. I'm going to pause there for a moment. I'm just going to take my time, just going to breathe in my own natural rhythm. I don't want to over breathe. I don't want to make myself feel lightheaded. So I'm going to have a very slight pause. And now we're going to talk about diaphragmatic breathing. So you can use this as a progression if you want. Both diaphragmatic breathing and pursed lip breathing, both of them can help calm down your sense of shortness of breath. It can calm everything down and help you to feel just more quiet, more steady, more yourself. We talk about diaphragmatic breathing, and I've mentioned about the diaphragm being here. To find your diaphragm, take one hand and put it on your belly button, and take your other hand and put it just gently above. Remove your hand and have a cough, and you'll feel where your diaphragm is. So I'm going to cough, and I can feel there's that slight expulsive push, and that's absolutely where your diaphragm is. Okay, so we're ready to begin. I'm going to demonstrate, and I'd like you to watch me first. Put my hand here, find my diaphragm there. Now when I take a deep breath in, I'm going to put my hand here, particularly to show you that neither my rib cage or my shoulders are going to be moving with me, but when I take a deep breath, my tummy will bloat. So it's as if the air is coming down right down to my base, which is exactly where I want it to be. So I'm going to take a breath in. I'm going to exaggerate what I'm doing, but that's where you want to feel the action. And out slowly. And again, I'm concentrating and thinking just about this bit here. I'm forgetting everything here is the way to do it. So I'm going to breathe in and out. And you'll see that I'm breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. Put my hand down by my side. I feel nice and relaxed. I know I'm doing it. So I'm going to breathe in and out. And once more, I'm going to breathe in and out. And that's diaphragmatic breathing. So it's a nice regular pattern, but focusing on this and not that. And let myself breathe away naturally. I don't need to feel too lightheaded as I'm doing all of these in succession. But our last exercise, the third exercise, is called the breathing control technique. And this is one that you could use as homework. It's quite a nice one to practice. So I'm going to demonstrate and talk you through it, and then you can copy with me in a moment. This will again involve breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth and actually counting. So, as it suggests, I'm going to put my hand on my diaphragm here. I'm going to breathe in for 3 and hold for 4, and then breathe out, really exhale for 5. So, off I go. I'm going to breathe in for 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to breathe out, really exhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slight pause, take a little breath, and I'm going to try again. So I'm going to breathe in for 3, focusing on breathing down here from my diaphragm. So I'm going to breathe in, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to breathe out for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the idea with this is that you're feeling comfortable within yourself and with your breathing, and that you can now practice some breathing control, and that you are the one that's in control. So let's practice that together. So you pop your hand on your diaphragm. If you're not sure where it is, have a cough. So I'm in the right place here. Ready? We're going to breathe in for the count of 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to breathe out for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. All right. So there's the selection there. 3 exercises. I'm breathing away now in my own time, so I feel I've exercised myself quite well. So we've practiced the pursed-lipped technique, the diaphragmatic breathing from here, and then utilising those 2 ideas, the controlled breathing technique. So those are some ideas to go away and have a bit of a think about. I'm very pleased to share these ideas with you, so thank you. Do give them some thought. They do help. They're nice and gentle and simple, and with patience and practice you will gain some benefit. And to finish, we have the Francis Physio top tip, which is this. If you're having a sleepless night, and I use this technique definitely, whatever position you're lying in, pop your hand on your diaphragm and just do some gentle breathing from your diaphragm, just in and out, and out, and in, and out, and you'll gradually find yourself feeling quieter and calmer and hopefully drifting off to sleep. And it is something that can really help. So thank you very much for joining me. This video on breathing exercises and shortness of breath is going to be on our YouTube channel under Francis the Physio, Fairhand Visiting Physiotherapists. We also have a website, www.fairhandvisitingphysiotherapists, and we've got a Facebook page, fair hand physios. So I very much enjoyed spending this time with you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.